What's going on, everybody? It's Leo, man. I am here today to talk about the Texans, man. Listen, I know it's dark outside, but this is the first video, many to come. Just previewing my thoughts for the first season of David Culley and, our new GM. We all know of how tumultuous last season was. And then it got worse with the Deshaun Watson saga that has come out. Me personally, let me know what y'all think about this, man. Me personally, I feel like once he asked to be traded, I think that we should have immediately started trading him, started that action. Of course, that's not what happened, and now we are in this situation where he has this legal trouble going on. And although, that's going on, it seems that, other teams are still interested. But, I personally feel like we should have just got it done before the draft. But, it's all good because I feel like this year's draft was kind of good in a lot of ways that we didn't need, because I feel like we don't really need a quarterback right now, much to everybody else's opinion, And I feel like with the pick that high that we would have had, if we would have not traded for Laramie Tunsil and possibly, traded Watson again to get the third pick back, I feel like, we probably would have went quarterback. And I feel like, we just had a season with really an MVP candidate level quarterback, and we still only won 3 games. Or 3 or 4 games, I can't really remember, but, we didn't win that much. So, personally, I feel like we need to address the lines. We need to address the O-line, and we need to address the defensive line. And there's a few players that I'm very interested in, and there's obviously as well as quarterback. But I feel like in this draft, there's not that much of a difference between the top quarterback. As of right now, the top quarterbacks, and I'm making this at the beginning of the college football season too. So there's not a big difference between, the number 1 to like number 3 or 4 quarterbacks. Sam Howell, Spencer Rattler, Matt Corral, who I feel like is just as good or better than both of them. And then, the quarterback from Cincinnati that people are high on. I really like Malik Willis. I feel like him and Matt Corral might have the biggest upside out of everybody, personally. I really like Willis because he's a dual threat and has a powerful arm. I like Matt Corral because of the offense that they run, and he just has, I think, a lot of characteristics that, great modern NFL quarterbacks have right now. His ability to throw on a run, his ability to, he's a gunslinger. So, yeah, now, I don't think all of them will go in the first round. I think, hopefully when we trade Watson, we get, more than one first pick. I would like to see us maybe go, either edge or interior D-line or offensive tackle, early. Because like I said, I think that we have to rebuild our team from the inside out, We have to become a more physical team, first and foremost. Like, we have to, we're in a tough division, where people like to run the ball. We're playing teams like Tennessee and Indiana. We're playing, Jacksonville isn't, they don't really have a true identity yet, but we're playing. Hell, we got to play the Colts and Tennessee twice a year. And, to me, those are the 2 most physical teams in football, and we have to match up. And that is, moving forward, that is one thing I am excited about this year is I like Nick Caserio, man, so far. He seems to be looking to install like a real, just a real football mentality, no nonsense, mentality. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing how it goes. I'm interested to see when they give Davis Mills an opportunity because he has to play this year. They spent a third round pick on him. He has to play. We have to see if he's good because if he shows promise, it wouldn't make sense to really go for a quarterback early in the first unless they were just an amazing quarterback, and showed so much potential. Like I said, like a Malik Willis, maybe. But like I said, there's a lot of good quarterbacks coming out. I don't think you have to force it. If we have a chance to get like a tackle like Neal from Alabama, or one of the prominent edge rushers that if they can prove that they can rush and stop the run, interior defensive lineman, maybe trading back, and accumulating more picks to make the right decision. But yeah, that is one thing I am very interested to see this year. Moving into the 4-3 with Lovie Smith, who will prove that they can play in that system. We have a lot of holes in our defense. The only person I really see long term is Justin Reed on defense. Ross Blacklock, I haven't really seen that much of him yet. I think that he can flourish in the 4-3 as a 3-tech. But yeah, man, there's a lot of promising players coming out this year. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of offense we run. I don't believe we'll run the same offense that was ran in the Ravens because Cully was the passing game coordinator. We don't have a real running threat like that at QB. People like to say that about Tyrod Taylor. Personally, I don't believe that he's really, really a running threat. Obviously he can move, but I don't, he's not as dangerous as like Cam Newton was or Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick. He's a guy that, to me, he's just like he's a good West Coast style quarterback, So that's that. But yeah, I think that honestly, I feel like I don't really want, now this is going to sound weird, I guess, to all the fans that are expecting a season. I don't think we should judge this season by how many wins we get, you understand? I think that we have to find the bright spots. Like, I don't think that we should make it our goal to win more than 5 games. Honestly, I think if we come out this year having a true understanding of like who we could build this team with, like, Nico Collins, if we can understand his potential by the end of this year, or if he has potential by the end of this year, like Nico Collins, who else? David Mills, the quarterback that we drafted, I spoke of earlier, in the 3rd round, who I guess has a real connection with Pep Hamilton, who is our passing game coordinator. Who else? Like I said, like Ross Blacklock. Who else? Let me know of any young players that y'all are really interested in. But man, me personally, I think it's time that we move on from Deshaun. Let him go. Give him a fresh start. Shit, man. That's pretty much all I could say right now. We're going into the first game of the season. I believe that we probably will win 4 games. But like I said, man, I really want to see how good Davis Mills can be. We spent the 3rd round pick on him. I want to see, the bright spots of our defense. I want to see, who comes to play to prove themselves, who loves the game. Because I think we have one of the least talented rosters in the NFL. But, a real football player is going to come out and play regardless, So that's what we need. And I think our goal over the next 2 years should be to rebuild both sides of football when it comes to the lines. We should be gunning to be the most physical team in football, and then building around that, building off of the run game, building off, and getting a quarterback that is equally talented or more talented than Deshaun Watson, and really, putting them in a better situation than Watson had. Watson since immediately after being drafted by us, was in, a terrible situation. He was in a situation where there was no protection. They traded away the left tackle, Dwayne Brown, which is why we are in this shit to begin with. They traded him away, which led us ultimately having to trade for Laramie Tunsil. And, we overpaid for him when it comes to the trade, and we overpaid for him when it comes to money. But, that being said, there are positives. If we get Neal from Alabama, who's a huge, huge athlete, we will have, one of our weaknesses, long-time weaknesses, will become a strength. And same for the D-line. If we get, that defensive tackle from A&M, or that defensive end from Georgia, or, Kevon Thibodeau, we will start to rebuild, and I think that we have to really start from the inside out. I would rather have a dominant defensive tackle than an edge, and just build literally from the inside out on that defense. And, since we're going to be running 4-3 Tampa 2, I guess, we need athletic linebackers. We need physical corners. And, yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got to say. I'm hopeful, not in the terms of wins, which I know sounds weird, but I'm hopeful that by the end of this year, we will be in a better position to build. And I think that that's what the goal should be right now, because like I said, you can't win games in the NFL without talent. And right now we don't have the most talent, just being honest. Our best player on offense is probably our left tackle. That's all I can really say. He's a good left tackle, but I don't know most dominant teams in the NFL where you could say their best offensive player is a left tackle, So, yeah, let me know what y'all think. That's what I think. I think we're moving in the right direction. Nick Caserio has shown a little bit of promise, and he got us out of some stupid contracts that Bill Booty Chin O'Brien got us in, and I think that we will be better. I think the rebuild process, while I'm not high on where we are right now, I believe that the rebuild process, if they trade Watson, I think that we can be a playoff team in 3 years. If they draft right and if they build the team how it's supposed to be built. All right, y'all. Please like, share, and sub. There will be a lot more of these videos, and I'll be going over Texans and, Rockets news, man. All right, y'all. Peace.